Assume that it's live. I'm going to assume we're live.
We probably can assume that, but I also have my iPad open up with this page, and it's still not moving yet. But I know there's sometimes a bit of a delay.
A little bit of delay.
So it's okay, it's moving now.
Yes.
We're here. Happy Christmas Eve to everybody.
Yeah.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm beat tired.
Yeah?
I feel like a lot's been going on. I just feel like
I think it has.
Yeah. Yeah. Did I don't know if I want to get into it.
Well, tell you what, I'm going to tell you that I left work. What was it? 2 days ago? I want to say 2 days ago. And I was like, oh, am I going to listen to the Sunny podcast again? Because they only have X amount of podcast episodes. But then in my email came, bing, Ralph's Patreon. That's how you say it, right? Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, perfect. So I listened to that.
Oh, no.
And obviously we're not going to discuss it, but I will broadly say, you had told me earlier this thing you had going. And I was like, man, it sounds really neat. And then I was thinking, I hope he's thought this through, because it sounds like it could be a real challenge. And listening to your Patreon, I was like, that's a great fucking idea. And I can't wait for it to come together.
It's been sleepless nights for the last 2 months.
I'm sure.
I'm working on a project. If you want to check it out, this isn't a plug. I can make it a plug.
I'll plug it. It's worth $2 to figure out what's going on here. Or a buck.
This is one of my banners that I have. Also, if you're listening to this podcast on the regular audio feed, we are doing this live, and the video version is on YouTube if you want to watch us instead of just listening. But it is, the biggest thing that I've ever worked on. It's a huge project, and I feel like I really want to make sure that I get the work in by the time my partner in this project is freed up in September. So it's been a lot of sleepless nights trying to figure out an angle to make this work. And I think it was Saturday night, I could not sleep, and it dawned on me what I should do and how this should play out. And I am now so excited to start working on this and getting this going that I released a Patreon episode letting everybody know exactly what it is. I say everything in full, what is going on with this project I'm working on. But also, nobody can say anything about it. So that's
do you have it as the Secret Society? Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
Or is that somebody else? Okay, well then it should truly be a secret for the Secret Society only.
Yeah, it's only for people who pay for it, which means Kevin supports the Patreon, which means he got it. I posted it as a video because I know there's a lot of people that I have given the RSS audio feed to, mostly people who come on as guests. They'll come on as guests and I'll just send them the RSS feed. They can listen to anything that I post, but they don't get videos. So I did it as a video. Got my friend Alex to join me from the backside of water, and that was fun. It was exciting because he didn't know about it, and then I told him about it, and he was very excited.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to happen. I thought about asking you to jump on, but you already knew about it, so it wasn't going to be as exciting. But
listen, you have a plethora of fellow podcasters to choose from.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
It's like life-changing and awesome, and I cannot wait. It's pretty huge. Great. It's huge. And so I'm very excited. And if you're a fan of Lost, I'm letting you guys know right now, maybe just drop the buck. It's $1. Watch that video. You can instantly download the other 100+ episodes that I have on there on Patreon, and then you could just unsubscribe the next day and you'll still have that month to enjoy all that stuff. But I want a lot of people to know, but I only really want like people I trust, who are people who, you know, have been supporting me for years. So it's exciting. It's life changing. And I mentioned, I think in the description of this episode, that there's also life changing news in your neck of the woods. I don't know if you want to get into that now, if you want to save it for later.
We can get that into later. Not
Okay.
not too far later, but yeah, we'll definitely. Yeah,
Okay.
there's stuff. There's a whole lot of stuff, and a lot of people are like, "Oh wow, all right, let's do a podcast." They have another episode. It's been forever, and that's
3
all my
months.
fault. It's all my fault. I have been,
No, it's fine
ever
though.
since work. Listen, one of my jobs is that I find out the day before if I'm working that day. And it's been later. So I'll find out from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. sometimes if I'm working the next day. And it's very difficult for me to schedule something like this when that's the case.
I think Thanksgiving weekend, we almost got something going, but it just didn't work out.
Well, and we almost got one just before I went to New York. And I was going to lay some clues down on that one for stuff that happened later, but obviously. But
right.
So yeah, you said it's 3 months. Had I started at Horror Nights yet? Had Horror Nights started?
It was. You were, I believe, getting ready to. I believe it was just gonna happen. Like you may have, because you definitely talked about your role, and I did mention. I think I asked you about the suit and ties, and if you had to wear them, but you were just doing that for like the ramping up to.
Yeah, and on the last day.
Yeah, I think
it was a lot of Metallica t-shirts and stuff like that. But I wasn't supposed to like be a hey, I work here kind of guy. I was supposed to kind of fit in. But so again, I was working at Halloween Horror Nights. I was show quality. So we were in charge. I had a show quality partner. Her name is I'm blanking because I'm an idiot. Of course, I know
Freddy Krueger. No. Norman.
But she, it was me and her, and
Norma Bates.
What's funny is, since we were up at Bates Motel, one of our cast dressed up as Norma Bates and took her picture in front of the house, which was really neat.
That's cool.
Yeah, but yeah, we were teaching the characters what to do. This is your scare. This is your prop. This is how you use it. Here's the area you should be in.
I'm sorry. Did you say characters?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah. Sorry.
Because if you didn't, I would have said, okay, go to the suggestion box and drop that in the box.
Yeah,
I like it.
Not my idea.
Like it. It's so cheesy, but I love it. It just, I don't know.
So the thing about Horror Nights is there's a lot of younger folks that work it, and there were a lot of call outs, and Universal is prepped for that. So they hire for each maze, each area, and they also hire a separate area called the pool. And basically the pool is, okay, these people called out from this, so you can go be this spot, you can do this spot, you're in this maze. And so every night I was teaching new people how to do their thing. Sometimes it would get there were so many call outs that for example, I got pulled from my position to be the skinniest Leatherface that you would see. And I tell you, maybe this is a good time to go through the pictures if that's
sure. Let me bring them up. Look how smooth.
I'm so mad at myself. It's Christy. Of course it's Christy. So I'll tell you, this is a true story. And I put this on the internet before, but my last day of Horror Nights in 2016, I really wanted a picture at the Psycho House. And it was the last day, and it wasn't going to happen. So I just went up, and the Norman there, I was like, if they fire me, they fire me. I'm never coming back here again. And he took his picture. He took my picture for me. Norman took a picture of me at the house. And now 5 years later, this was my office. And I call it my office because we had our pre-shift meetings at the front of the house. and we were literally stationed behind our break area was behind the house, so we were there all night.
Also, if you can call the Bates house your office, then do it.
Yeah. Yes. So this is okay. So there's me and Norman, and then let's go ahead. This is Christy when she got pulled. My show quality co-captain. She got pulled to The Exorcist. So this was so great because Terror Tram is kind of its own thing. It's so far away, and it's close enough to other houses so that there's a noise ordinance. So every night, Terror Tram would close like an hour and a half or 2 hours before the rest of the park. So what I would do is after Terror Tram closed, I would get paid overtime to just walk around and go through the mazes. Like that was, and so
quality control. It's good to see what's going on.
Yeah, I give my notes, get some input, see how everybody's doing. But yeah, there's Christy as Reagan in The Exorcist.
It's pretty cool. Mask? It's a mask?
Yeah.
That's cool. Looks good.
And then here is the beginning of the day. Terror Tram.
Mr. Bean's car?
That is Mr. Bean's car, which I touched it as well. I was
that's pretty awesome.
Supposed to do that. But yeah, I went up and I held the handle. I was like, me and Mr. Bean have held the same handle. So yeah, that was fun. These next two pictures are me getting ready to do Leatherface for the first time. So there's my start. And then this next one, there I am wearing my black mask under it. So we were wearing masks under the masks.
That's cool.
What's
kind of adds a little bit of a creepy thing to it.
It is a bit creepy, yeah. But I had fun, but it was just like, really? I'm there backstage with all the other Leatherfaces, and they're huge badasses, and I'm just like, hey, what's going on, guys?
Did you feel like Mankind or the Fiend?
A little bit, sure. Yeah.
That had to have crossed your mind, right?
It crossed my mind.
Yeah. I mean, if it crosses my mind. All right. This next one. I know.
There's Rosanna and I. We're in the VIP section of Terror Tram. So it was the Purge. So we were with some Purgers there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't know. When he sent me this, I didn't know what the money sign, $sign guy was.
Yeah,
I haven't seen the Purge.
I watched a few, like 2 or 3 of them, and I was like, okay, I get it. I don't need to watch all these. I probably should have. There are some related characters, but
yeah, I'm sure just be an asshole is probably.
There were some specific ones though. Like there was an electrocution gal who had she had an American flag, and she had somebody strapped to this thing, and she had a car battery, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Probably didn't need to watch a whole movie for that though.
No.
Okay.
I think this is just
your office.
It was pretty beautiful. The lighting was great.
Yeah, I mean, it's so it's iconic. It's iconic. I love Psycho. I watched Psycho this year for Halloween. It's a good movie. It's a really good movie. I'm okay. I don't know.
Is that the last one?
No. I'm kind of inching my way down towards that last one.
Okay, so this and the next one, there's a lot of Instagram accounts just that go to parks and look at stuff. So that's one of our guys from Terror Tram, which was pretty awesome. And the next one is another one. It's nice to have fans who are really good photographers taking cool pictures. There's the bunny guy. So anyway, it was a blast. And the last day, my other job, and this is like a whole deja vu, because 2 years ago, I was talking about going into management at this post-production gig. And it looks like in the next couple of months, it's finally going to happen. And in the last couple of days, there's like 60 people there. There's probably more. But we had our meeting, and it was the second last day, and I told them that I was likely quitting, and I was very thankful to everybody around, and I talked about how much I enjoyed working at the park and how important the people around me were, and I was getting pretty emotional. And then I started talking about Jinx, who is my buddy Carter, and Carter and I started at the same day, and we were both, he was 18 and now he's 23. It's 5 years older. And I talked about how annoyed I was at this fucking loudmouth kid who just wouldn't shut up. And then he's grown, and we were characters jumping around in costumes, and now we were in positions of importance. And at the end, I started ugly crying. It was terrible. I'm in front of all these people. I started ugly crying. But yeah, it was a blast. And it looks like probably February, I'm going to start the post gig full time, and it'll be good. It'll be good.
It's kind of fun. What does that involve? Like scheduling, or what is that? What is like?
Yeah, it'll be scheduling. I'll be going over report. I'll be working from home, going over reports, fine tuning reports, last minute scheduling, that kind of thing. Generally like 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. There will obviously be some times where I have to work more. There will be times where it's really dead and I'm doing nothing. So yeah. So I was going over that, and then I told them about how I was going to go to New York, and I told them, I said, so a week from tomorrow, or tomorrow is our last day. A week from tomorrow, going to New York with my gal. Week from Monday, going to be engaged. And they're like, woo! And go ahead, load that up.
You got it.
We went to Rockefeller Plaza, and I was going to ask her on the top of like 30 Rock building.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not so good with the heights. And then when I
no, you're not.
I'm not. And then when I saw that the ice rink was up, I was like, okay, this is it. This is perfect.
Yeah.
So we did that, and there were people around. There's even people in the picture taking pictures of us, which is cool. So,
so after anywhere.
And so after we did it, this guy was like, listen, come over here. I got some pictures. So that was fun. And then an hour and a half later, we were walking through Central Park, and we saw some dude off on his own on a rock proposing to his gal. So I took pictures for them. So it was fun to push that forward. So there that is. So that's, yeah. So it's a good thing.
Yeah. Congratulations. It's, yeah, life-changing.
Thank you. It is.
I'm assuming she said yes.
She did. She did.
Good.
And I was surprised that she was surprised. I thought she knew I was going to do it, but she did not.
I feel like I felt like the same way. Like when I proposed to Stevie, I was like, she's got to figure it out, right?
How long had you been dating before you did it?
I proposed on our 4th anniversary. So we had been going out for 4 years.
Can you tell us how you did it, or you want to keep that private?
It's not anything special.
All right. But that was 20 years ago. Is that what I'm hearing?
We got married that would have been 2003. So just shy, 19 years ago. We've been married since 2004.
Okay, it was 16 years ago.
Been together since 99.
Okay.
So we've been together for 22 years.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah. I'm an old man. My old
gray
beard.
I feel it. I'm right there with you. Maybe let's talk about some movie stuff.
Sure.
This is stuff that you've already talked about.
The artwork. Yeah, the artwork is Spider-Man, because we're like, Spider-Man.
Well, before Spider-Man came out, Ghostbusters came out. And
yes.
I saw it like opening night, and when I was at one of my jobs on break, I watched your other podcast. What's his name again? Thanks, Ian.
Jay.
Okay, so yeah, I watched your and Jay's, and it was fun. It was fun to see you guys talk about it. And then I watched, since I had nothing else to do, I watched your last breakdown of the Ghostbusters trailer.
Okay. And, right. Okay, with me and Jay. That's right.
Yeah. And it was fun to be like, oh, does this mean this? Does this mean this?
Yeah.
It doesn't. But it's always fun to watch those back. I will say this, and Jay is a big Ghostbusters fan. I would like you to ask him to recite the Bill Murray thing about karma, because I think, and this isn't, this sounds like me being an elitist and whatever. I think Jace quoted it in saying, call it faith, as in you got to have faith, call it karma. And I double checked. I was like, did he say faith? And I think he said faith, and it's fate.
It may have been a slip of the tongue. I'm assuming.
It'd be interesting to hear what he says, though. If we just changed a major quote in his brain that he's had for 30 plus years, or 30 years or so.
Well, we released a Return of the Jedi episode on live action Star Wars yesterday. And in that episode, there's a line of dialogue that I thought I knew this whole time. That wasn't the case. And it's not very exciting dialogue. And Don't go like, oh, I can't wait to go see what Ralph said. What Ralph got messed up. It's not. It's like the word do is in the line. And I thought it said to, T-O. So Scott D's here. He says Ghostbusters was fantastic. Whole family liked it. I agree. So possibly the best use and application of the dead actor in a movie ever. It's been enough time. We could talk about Egon.
Yeah, totally. I was surprised how interactive the ghost was of Egon, like throughout.
Mm-hmm. But I kind of like that sort of, it's him, but you don't see him kind of thing. Like it was kind of nice. Like if we saw him like on all fours under the chair pushing the PKE meter around, that'd be really silly. So like the way they handled it, where the first shot you see him, because what's great is the whole time he's there, he's present, which is great. But the first time you see him, it's just his hand guiding Phoebe's hand, and you're like, oh, that's really awesome. And then the camera pans up and it's like him looking off into the distance, kind of trying to aim, and it's like, oh, that's great. There's a lot of him, and some would say that's a bad thing. I don't think so. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think what is a good thing that they did was keep him silent. I feel like once those CG characters start talking, it looks wrong. Like in the case of like Rogue One, Princess Leia, and Clue in Tron Legacy, like the mouths never look like mouths ever. So that was nice, and he didn't need to say anything, which is great. Like he did. I mean, we all know Egon
and Winston noticing him out of the corner of his eye.
Yeah, and sort of like nudging the other guys to look over as they like. Yeah, I mean some people would call it manipulative, maybe, but I mean, I loved it. I love seeing it.
I think it was cathartic.
Yeah.
And I think that based just on the trailers, there is a lot more of the original Ghostbusters in spirit, so to speak, than I expected. I thought it was just going to be all about these kids, and then it's really more about Egon than anything else.
Yeah.
So I loved it beginning to end. My favorite part of the first two Ghostbusters movies for Egon, and there's a lot to choose from, but my favorite Egon moment is when Walter Peck has released all the ghosts, even though the Ghostbusters told him not to, and he's got the cops, and he points at the Ghostbusters with the cops, and he says, "This is a direct result of what they did." And Egon goes, "Your mother," and he reaches out. He's very violent. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, he's a badass. And the first 5 minutes of Afterlife was Egon being a badass. He's just being a badass. Great.
Yeah. He has all this shit set up, and it's like crunch time. He's got to do it himself. So he like set up the proton packs, driving back to the farm. Yeah, all that stuff.
Now I did only watch it once, and it was a a mistake on his part where the trap was supposed to work, right? It was kind of
right.
Oh shit, it doesn't work. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So then he goes into the house and then essentially commits suicide,
Well, he
or the ghost
sacrifices
gets him.
himself to
Yeah.
catch him.
Yeah. But yeah, I thought it was great. I saw it twice.
Yeah, I got to see it again.
I'm sure it'll pop up on iTunes or something in the next couple weeks.
I think in
The price
February
hasn't
they
showed
said,
up.
yeah.
Mm.
Another thing that just came out is Spider-Man, and I did watch your review of that as well, your and Jay's.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it was so much fun, and we're going to spoil this in case anybody hasn't seen it yet, which is very possible because it's still pretty recent.
Yeah,
So,
the thing. Yeah.
spoilers. Nice, good. Listen, when Toby walked through that portal,
Yeah.
I laughed out loud at how happy I was. It was like, I can't believe I'm this happy.
Yeah.
And nothing against Andrew. He's a nice guy and he's a fun Spider-Man, and I knew Toby was coming, but still that moment I was like, this is wonderful.
He's here. It's been since what, 2005 or something, or 2008 since Tobey Maguire was Spider-Man.
You know, it's funny because you guys were talking about how in 2001 that first commercial had it had the Twin Towers in it.
Yeah.
And the video, there was a movie that came out on VHS, and there was a trailer in the front that had that, and they recalled all the movies because that trailer was in it. They had to send them back.
Sam Raimi, while editing the movie, had to go out and digitally remove them from Spider-Man because they had shot the film, and so they were in the background of all kinds of shots, and they had to go and get him out of there. And then like the first poster, the teaser poster, had just like the silhouette of Spider-Man's face, and in the reflection of the goggles, you can see the Twin Towers. It's crazy.
That's right.
It happened like between marketing and the time it came out, that all happened.
Yeah.
But it was awesome seeing him. It was like, and they seemed so happy to be there.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, every second those three were just talking about, so you shoot it out of your wrist?
Right.
And Toby's, he doesn't want to talk about it. It's like breathing. I don't think about it.
Yeah. Yeah, everything was great about it. We had watched Amazing Spider-Man 2 for the first time a couple days prior, and I'm glad I did. It's an awful movie, but there's definitely stuff in there that sort of carried over into this as far as Andrew Garfield's character is concerned, and that was good.
So really that's the one where MJ falls to her death, right?
It's Gwen Stacy, yeah.
Gwen Stacy, that's right.
What's her name? Cruella, her.
Oh yeah, Emma Stone.
Yeah. That's brutal. Have you seen that movie?
I liked Cruella.
No, not Cruella. The Spider-Man 2.
Oh, it's been a while.
Seen that one? Yeah,
I think so. It would have been a while ago. I wasn't really attached. I wasn't really attached to any non-Tobey Spider-Man movies. I think I watched them. I watched probably a third of the one right before this, and obviously I need to go back and watch it again.
Yeah,
fully.
Have you seen the animated film Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah, great.
Yeah, I love it.
Nice little hints there. Nice little. There's got to be a black Spider-Man out there somewhere.
Right. They're doing the sequels coming out, I think, next year.
So where do they? I want to see. I mean, they can't just throw this at us and not do more, since they have more. I want more, like you guys were talking about in the next real life Spider-Man. I think I want the animated guy in there, and I want him to sell it, and I'll be fine with it.
A friend of mine, Eric Diaz, writes for Nerdist, and he posted an article about what to do now. and they're talking. He was saying that it would be great that they're trying to work on this Craven movie, which is a Spider-Man villain, and he was saying that it would be great to just have that film have like Andrew Garfield, and then for them to do a Spider Girl movie, like a standalone movie away from the MCU, but have Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst be the parents, and just have them be in the other movies. Like I think I mean I want to see more. I want to see more of these guys.
Yeah.
I don't think I need a Spider-Man 4 by Sam Raimi, but if Tobey Maguire does show up in a different film, that would be great. And we would all understand what it means and where it fits into the whole grand scheme of things. But I feel he said, if you're going to make just a Spider-Man movie, it should be Tom Holland. But if you do these sort of offshoot characters from the Spider-Man universe, make them the other actors so that they can sort of exist on their own. Like put Tobey Maguire or put Andrew Garfield in Venom, in the Venom series. Like that would be great. So.
Well, we do have Sam Raimi with Doctor Strange coming up.
Very excited. I love Sam Raimi.
That was a great trailer.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know who did the music for it, though. It didn't sound like Elfman. It didn't sound like Giacchino. So it might have just been some random trailer music. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. And it was great to hear in this movie, in No Way Home, like the Danny Elfman themes for those characters from the Raimi movies, and then James Horner's music from The Amazing Spider-Man and stuff like that. And it'll be great to see Doctor Strange 2. Danny Elfman's doing the score, and he'll be using Michael's themes in that. So
that's really neat.
That'll be fun. At least I think he is. I know they want him to do it, but we'll see. It's fun.
You know, one thing back to New York, I should have thrown this back in when we were talking about the Twin Towers. We went to the Stephen Colbert show.
Oh,
and I love Colbert. It was great. I mean, you forget how every show is like a huge production, and the studio is a lot bigger than you see on TV. It's beautiful, but we were like maybe 15th or 20th in line, and we were like, okay, let's find the perfect spot, and we did. We found the perfect spot. Great sight line of Stephen and the guest, and we were really, really happy until the stage manager stood right there. And we were pretty excited because Quentin Tarantino was the guest.
Oh, cool.
And we were just completely blocked. We couldn't see either of them, like the whole show. From monologue to everything, he was standing right there. So if you go to one of these TV shows and you think you have the perfect spot, give it a couple more seats to the left or the right.
Yeah. I've seen Conan a couple times. I don't think I've ever had a bad seat.
Well, when we went, we were off to the left a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like that Ed Sullivan Theater looks like it's not like stadium style seating. It's like classic flat theater seating.
Yeah.
So it seems like it would be a little bit tougher to see. Maybe unless you're on the balcony. I think there's a balcony in there. Is there a balcony?
There is a balcony, yeah.
But still cool you went, though.
Yeah. Coming up, I think maybe it's out now. The King's Man. Are you excited for The King's Man?
I didn't see the second one.
You didn't see what? I could have swore you saw that. You didn't see the second one?
I saw that we watched the first one. I didn't see the second one has Jeff Bridges in it, but I haven't seen that one.
Well,
I thought the first one was okay. I think I liked it.
The first one was great. The trailer. From the trailer, this appears to be a prequel, and it looks great. So I'm looking forward to The King's Man.
Yeah, there's a dude that looks like Alan Moore that they keep showing with like long hair. Maybe I would say also Rob Zombie.
Rasputin.
Yeah. I don't know who's playing that character.
Well, it's the same guy that plays the lizard in Spider-Man. It was Reese something?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I'm not going to even try to guess because the only thing that comes to mind is Reese Darby, and I know it's not Reese Darby.
Oh, from Flight of Conchords?
Yeah. Yeah.
Couple of dickheads.
I love that dude.
I have a feeling Kingsman will be worth seeing in the theater if that's something that people do still.
I am going to the theater tomorrow to see Matrix 4.
Oh wow,
I'm
in the
very
theater
excited.
too.
I'm one of the dudes that likes all 3 Matrix movies.
Yeah, I didn't care for 2 and 3.
Yeah. So,
but I think 4 shows promise. I think it seems to be pretty meta.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have HBO?
Mm-hmm. I love HBO. I think it's the one we watch the most.
Do you watch Succession?
No. We watched like 5 minutes of the first one, and I understand it's incredibly good.
All right.
I think I'll get into it real soon. Have been watching Curb. Have you been watching Curb?
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Curb. So good.
There's only like 1 or 2 more episodes of that, isn't there?
Yeah, I think on the last episode they mentioned that production of his Young Larry show begins in 2 weeks, and that usually means so we'll have this Sunday if they do an episode, which they should do, and then the finale. Tracy Ullman,
yeah,
is phenomenal. Stevie hates her, and I just love her because she's so hateable. Yes, and that's what I love about it. She's so awful. Just the very first thing when she first asks if she can use his toothbrush, I'm like, clearly that's the wrong question to ask Larry. And then just, oh God, last week's episode with the vaginal reconstruction. Oh my God. And then she just gets on top of him and just like the look on his face. It's all just to get this girl off of his show.
And I'll say, listen, I gotta add on to that because we've seen Larry do a lot of like dumb things and stupid things. And as much as I don't care for the character she's portraying, she's obviously playing the most unattractive, personality wise.
Yeah.
She, for whatever reason, really likes him. And he's fucking with her emotions. I think it's really wrong what he's doing.
Yeah, it's bad. And Susie seems to be okay with it, kind of. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. And he just keeps on bringing up the ordinance and changing the ordinance, and I'm like, she's got to be smart enough to know that's all he cares about. Man.
So speaking of HBO some more, I'm surprised you don't care for Joe Pera, because to me, I think Joe Pera is a more palatable like Tim and Eric or even Tim Robinson.
I need to. A lot of people told me to watch it. I've tried. It's the same with like Rick and Morty. Like I can't get into that either. I just don't know what it is. My brain is wired differently for sure.
If you're gonna watch any episode that I would hope that you would like, I had a lot of joy watching Joe Pera reads you the church announcements.
Okay. And this is something I could watch in any order, right? I'm not going to miss out on something.
Totally. Especially this one.
I'll watch that one. I'll be sure to watch that one.
All right.
We just finished up season 2 of, no, we have one more episode of the Jeff Goldblum show over on Disney Plus.
Is that worth watching?
What are your thoughts on Jeff Goldblum? Does he delight you?
I mean,
or is he too much to deal with? Because he's very much to deal with. He's very much to deal with.
I think just getting older, I wonder how much of it is legit and how much of it is him playing it up because that's what he's known for.
I don't know. It's hard to tell. He seems either drunk or high or doing a Steve Brule impression. And I
Steve
don't
who?
know what is Steve Brule. Speaking of Tim and Eric, John C. Riley plays a character. He's a doctor on a local news station.
Okay.
And he's very probably got hit in the head when he was a kid. It's the best way to describe it. He's a bit much, and he's a really out there character. And he goes and does these like on the street reports about local wine festivals or local whatever. But it's John C. Riley just being as obnoxious as he can be, and it's fantastic. So there's a show, and I believe also on HBO Max, called Check It Out with Dr. Steve Brule, and it's John C. Riley. They're like 10 minutes. It's like Adult Swim stuff. So they're like 11 minutes, and he goes around LA and he goes to the Marionette Theater, but he's afraid of puppets, so it doesn't go well.
I think that Marionette Theater is literally blocks away from me.
Yeah, the Bob Baker?
Yes.
I can't imagine there being another Marionette Theater in our area.
I think it moved a couple of years ago from somewhere to here, but right now it's literally like walking distance for me right now.
Cool. Go check it out with Dr. Steve Brule.
I
will watch that one where he reads the announcements.
You know, what's funny is Brad and Athena, my Bond buddies, actually, they're big Bond fans.
Yeah.
We hung out with them a couple of days ago, and they were talking about Cowboy Bebop, which I don't care at all about. I'm not an anime guy.
Yeah.
But Brad's a really big Cowboy Bebop guy. Mm-hmm. And at the same time, they have just a strong aversion to even starting Ted Lasso. And it might be that whole thing where it's been hyped up too much and they don't want to even bother with it, which I've been there. But I think he and I, we're going to do a cultural exchange. I'm going to watch a couple of Cowboy Bebops and they'll watch a couple of Ted Lassos. And hopefully
you're going to watch the anime or you're going to watch the live action series?
The anime, because he didn't like the live action.
The thing with the anime is the music is amazing.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing that stands out is the music. I like Ted Lasso.
Well,
I really like Ted Lasso, but I get it. People talk about certain things. It's like me watching Breaking Bad. I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to let it finish up and then I'll watch it after it ended. I did that. Succession, I'll probably do the same thing. Succession's in hiatus right now, right? So nobody's
they just finished their third season.
Yeah. So that's the thing is people online will spoil Succession, but because I have no frame of reference, it doesn't matter. So now that the season's done and people stop talking about it, that's the best time to go in because now I start getting frames of reference and people aren't going to spoil anything for me, because they're talking about
Succession
Hawkeye or something.
They are all terrible people. Like in the first episode, you're like, okay, they're all pretty bad, but at least this guy isn't that bad. Oh, it turns out he is too.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the same as like Arrested Development. Like they're all just awful people. So, but sometimes if it's well written, I'll watch it. So maybe I'll check it out. I think that would be a good thing. We're kind of right now. I don't really have much to watch. I suppose I should watch What If. I watched like 3 of them. I didn't care for it. I suppose I should watch Hawkeye. I haven't watched any of it.
I haven't watched any either.
Yeah. So yeah, there's not really much on my plate right now.
The insults on Succession are so sharp and so mean.
But like I love Veep, and Veep was like that. Like everybody sucked except for Sam Richardson, who was awesome.
That's true.
And then spoiler alert, somehow becomes president in the future. But yeah, that's so. I mean, I can deal with that. I don't mind awful people, but it's just one of those things where it's like, all right, I need to figure out when I can get into a show and start it up. And it's probably, whether they did what, 3 seasons so far? And it's HBO, so it's probably like 10 or 13 episodes each. So it's probably,
I think it's 10.
Yeah, it's probably really easy.
First season might even be less.
I'm still only halfway through that second season of Barry.
Really?
Yeah. That season 1 finale pissed me off so much.
I forget what happened in the finale.
He kills the lady, the cop that's dating what's his name?
That's
Fonzie.
the first season?
That's the end of the first season.
Oh wow, okay.
And I watched like 2 or 3 episodes of the second season. And I you know what? Maybe I'll watch more tonight. Because my brother-in-law, I gotta watch Matrix tonight. I gotta watch Matrix 2 and 3 before tomorrow. Anyway, we'll let you know in a couple months. Yeah, update.
So what's coming up? What's coming up theatrically and what have you?
For me, Matrix, and then there's a couple of movies in February that I have. No, okay. I'm probably going to see that Uncharted movie because I like the game series, but I don't think the movie looks terribly great. There was a trailer that came out today, and Mark Wahlberg has the mustache, which he should, but we'll see. We'll see. Also, that comes out on my birthday, February 18th. So maybe. But I kind of want to see that new Michael Bay movie, Ambulance. And I don't know why. Have you heard of this? Ambulance? It's the guy. It's the guy who plays the new Morpheus and Dr. Manhattan in the Watchmen series, and Jake Gyllenhaal. They're bank robbers who escape via an ambulance carrying a police officer that had been shot. And it looks like a Michael Bay movie from like the 90s. Like it's more of a street level film instead of giant robots. So I'm like kind of interested in it, even though Michael Bay's like an asshole and does like shitty movies. Right. But I liked The Rock, and I liked Bad Boys 1 and 2. Bad Boys 2 is fucking amazing. So I'm hoping it's good. And I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal, he's great. Ian Hart. It's kind of how I feel. He says there's too much content, or there's so much content, I can't pull the trigger on a new series, so I end up rewatching things I'm already invested in to prepare for the new seasons.
I understand that.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that Succession is probably only tops 30 episodes. I'm thinking it's doable, and now's a good time to do that. So
tomorrow, Don't Look Up comes out on Netflix. I have a feeling that's going to be pretty good. That looks really good.
Oh, yeah. That's the Adam McKay.
Yeah.
The one with the bangs. Jennifer Lawrence has the bangs.
She did,
yeah, I heard good things about that. I'd be interested in seeing that.
It looks good.
Is that going to show up on HBO Max?
Well, it's on Netflix.
Oh, well, there you go. I'll watch it on that. And then the other thing is Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
When is that?
I don't know.
It's gonna be a while, right?
March. It's March. 3 months.
Is it really March already?
I think so. Yeah. I in the summer of, or not the summer, Christmas of 91, I got a Sega Genesis, and I called Toys R Us every day. Is Sonic the Hedgehog here yet? Because I saw a picture in a game magazine, and I called the next day. Is Sonic the Hedgehog there yet? Literally every day for months, until finally I found out when it was coming out, and then I went. I remember going to Toys R Us to pick it up, and it was awesome. I love Sonic the Hedgehog.
The very first one you're talking about.
The first game. And I like the second game, and I like Sonic CD, which is another game I remember getting. The first Sonic the Hedgehog movie, not that great, but I don't care because I love Sonic the Hedgehog. Sonic the Hedgehog is cool, and I like Ben Schwartz. He plays Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a much better fit than Chris Pratt Pratt playing Mario.
Right.
I don't know how that's going to work out. So I'll see that in a couple months.
He's not even going to do an Italian accent. Like, how do you not have Mario be an Italian plumber?
I don't know. I don't like it, but I like Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm going to go see it. Other than that, I can't think of anything else. I'm sure there's something big we're missing.
But I think Kingsman should be up there too. I think that's probably worth seeing.
I'll see the second one. That's got to be streaming somewhere.
Well, the second one was not good.
Okay.
And since this one seems to be a prequel, I don't think you need to see the second one.
I guess you're right. Unless there's a young Jeff Bridges, and there'll be some clever joke about how he lost his eye or whatever. I don't know. Does he wear an eye patch in the second one? I don't know.
I don't remember.
I don't know, but I'll see Eternals when that comes out next month. It comes out on the 12th, I think, or the 16th on Disney Plus. I haven't seen it, so I'll wait for then. And then
the Book of Boba Fett, you're going to be doing another show, right?
Yeah, live action Star Wars. I might have a banner for that. Do I have a banner for that? Yeah. liveactionstarwars.com. We start on Wednesday, 9 a.m. live. So I'm getting up at like 5 or 6 in the morning, watching it, and then we're recording at 9 in the morning. Come join us in the chat. Just like you guys.
Does the first episode come out on Wednesday?
Yeah. Wednesday, like 6 days away.
I'm just thinking for just a marketing purpose. Nobody will have seen it. How are you going to do the show when no one's seen it?
There's tons of people are going to see it. We're going to have a guest on, Eddie Pence from the Ralph Report and other things, and he's going to see it by then. The good thing is to get the content up early, so we're going to do it live. We'd love it if like Ian and Scott, if you guys come and join us for that. And then as soon as we're done recording, it's up on the internet. So when people watch it, it'll be available to them. Yeah, that's the thing I'm trying to like juggle. And this is kind of this whole thing is going to be an experiment because I got to figure out what's the sweet spot of getting it up early, but then also getting it up late enough to have people join us in the stream. And I'm hoping that we can get East Coasters who are on their lunchtime. My co-host James is in the UK, so there it'll be like 5 in the evening, 6 in the evening. So it's kind of we're trying to figure like what's going to be a good time. So maybe the following week we do it in the afternoon or in the evening. But the thing with the evening is if like we do it at 6 at night, that's like 2 a.m. for James, and he works third shift, so he might be at work at that time. Or so right now we're coming in hot, 9 o'clock. We'll see how it works. And then when that episode ends, we'll let you know the following week. Okay, we're going to try 10 o'clock or we're going to try noon or whatever. So it'll be, yeah.
You're right, though. It'll be up for when people are ready to start watching it. It's already there.
Right. Ian Hart says, I've been out of the loop for a while. Did you guys ever talk about No Time to Die? We haven't. But I did a live stream. If you go to youtube.com/casinoskunk, it's up towards the top, I think. But I did a whole group session. Our buddy Michael Franquito joined us as well. Did you see it?
And I finally saw it like a couple of weeks ago, and I liked it. And I did not have a problem with him dying at the end. I thought it was I was watching it happen, and I was like, I think they're going to kill James Bond. And it all kind of made sense. And then I was like, okay, well, killing off, was it Felix?
Yeah, that was Felix Leiter.
Yeah. And so that's like, okay, maybe they were like setting us up to let us know stuff's going down in this one. What I didn't care for, the whole villainous plan is really what I don't like about a lot of the shit in Doctor Who. Mm-hmm. Okay, you can't touch anybody, and if you do, they'll die. Is that what the thing was?
Yeah.
Very silly.
It was a virus that was able to track DNA. So once your DNA touches someone with the similar DNA, it's like it transfers over to that person.
Yeah, it's a little silly.
It's easier for Q to explain that shit.
Yes.
But
yeah, I mean, I was all right with the end. I know a lot of my Bond friends hated it. Brett and Athena don't like that he died. Bob Mitch doesn't like that he died. My friend John was like, it's less that he died, but it's more that he gave up. Like, James Bond always is going to try. And at the end, he was like, all right.
Well, he was kind of fucked because even if he did get off the island, he would still have the poison nanobots in him. So what is it? The
quote I heard, nanobots.
the quote I heard from Barbara Broccoli, who is the producer, she said that, I wish I knew the exact quote. It was on their podcast, the official No Time to Die podcast, where when we meet Bond, Daniel Craig's Bond, he's got nothing to live for. He really has nothing to live for. He's just, he's like fucking asshole. And by the end of this one, he has someone to die for. And that's like kind of the whole thing. Yeah, he could have tried and hoped that, but I mean, I don't know. I'm just glad that there wasn't really a villain that beat him. Like, because you always wonder, like, can you imagine if there's this huge firefight with a bunch of Blofeld's henchmen and one of them hits James Bond and kills him? Like,
it's funny because that's kind of like the end of Supernatural. I don't know how much you followed the finale for that, but in the finale for Supernatural, Sam and Dean are just out on a hunt and Dean just dies. He gets killed by a vampire. And a lot of people hated that. But for me, I was like, you know what? They're going to keep doing this. And it's dangerous every time. It was bound to happen.
Yeah. So it was kind of cool that no one really defeated James Bond. He went out on his own terms. He did it saving the world. If he could have left and the doors would have closed and the world wouldn't have been saved. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it because of one thing. We're now done with Daniel Craig and this sort of continuity, sequelizing James Bond movies. And now that he's dead, they can get back to just doing these single movies that don't rely on other movies. You can watch The Spy Who Loved Me and you don't need to know what happened in Goldfinger, because they're all individual stories. And so what I'm glad about this is they're like saying, we're done doing this thing. We showed you how James Bond started, and now we showed you how James Bond ended. Now we can get back to just doing the one-offs. And my sort of dream scenario would be the next James Bond be Pierce Brosnan. That's my dream.
But he's too old now, right?
But that's what I want. I want to see old man Bond, like, on a mission. Plus, Pierce Brosnan got like the shittiest movies. He was great as Bond. Better. And I feel like do a couple Pierce Brosnan movies. He's still fit. He can probably still do it. And then just move on. Like Sean Connery left after You Only Live Twice. George Lazenby came in for one movie. And then Sean Connery came back for one. Like, why not just do something like that? So we can get back into the rhythm of classic James Bond storytelling. But I'm sure the producers want to do somebody new, and we'll see who that is. But the No Time to Die did say at the very end, James Bond will return.
Right.
So this is almost like this Daniel Craig is almost like a Spider-Verse thing. And I kind of feel like all the James Bond actors are kind of in their own Spider-Verses.
Well, it's kind of like the comedy version of Casino Royale, right?
Right.
The Woody Allen one. Like there were a bunch of James
Bond
ones.
And yeah. So yeah. I'm all for it. Whatever. I'm good. I'm happy with. I really like the movie. I did see Brett and Athena's thoughts on it, and I'm just like, that sucks for you. Like, I know you guys are really big James Bond fans. I happen to love it. You can't please everybody. It sucks for them for sure. 100%. Cause like, if I came out of it and I was like, fuck, that sucked, I'd have been so bummed. I'm just fortunate to have weird taste. I don't know. I was in it. I was way into it. So
I was all right with him dying and everything, but yeah, the nanobots.
I mean, they've done. I mean, what are you gonna do? There's so many bullshit James Bond villain things. Whatever.
I think that might just about wrap us up for this week.
Yeah.
This week, for this year, probably.
Yeah, for this year. I don't think we're going to come back for another 2021 episode.
But in the next
time, I say it every time, we should do this sooner.
You're right.
More often.
You're right. And when
schedules,
when I have a solid schedule, it will be weird. Like if I'm working 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, we'll have to figure out when exactly we'll do it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a more consistent schedule, and we'll figure it out.
Cool. All right, let's stop doing a podcast. Oh, you got something else?
No. I was just saying thanks for everybody for watching, and hope everybody has a great new year and is safe and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I will say, and I'm still working as characters in the park, and there are a lot of people that take their mask off before they come up to me. It's like, guys, there are thousands of you around here. Do you think it's a good idea for me to be exposed to thousands of people taking their mask off? But
yeah, well, we're all, my family, my mom, sister, brother-in-law, kids, Stevie, Sarah, all of us, all boosted.
Me too.
I'm still nervous about going over there. So we'll see.
You're boosted too, yeah?
Yeah. Zero side effects.
I got a buddy back home. I had a pretty easy time too.
Yeah.
A little tired maybe, but that was about it. I got a buddy back home who's just got it for the second time. He got COVID for the second time. And it's because his kids are going to school and bringing it back. Most likely.
Fuck school. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.
All right, let's stop doing a podcast. So that's where we stop. I mean, I could end the broadcast. But yeah, usually we talk a little bit after, but dude, super congratulations. By the way.
Thank you.
Like, I'm so happy for you. There was a while there on your Instagram where I was like, I just started saying congratulations to everything you were posting. Because every picture you posted, I was like, oh, this looks like a special occasion. Everything looked like a special occasion.
Right.
And I was like, waiting for it. I'm like, I don't know if it's going to happen. And I'm glad it did.
Are we still live on the air right now?
Yeah. Here, you want me to stop? All right, guys. Say bye. Oh, hold on.